sisters, thank you for coming out. We want to thank Brother Perez for the people that we vote and put in office to make the decision to sell this land to a billionaire is absurd.
That's right, Chris. Bullshit.
We're able to rent our stadium, our auditoriums to whoever we want. That's the deal. People are supposed to come over here and pay a lease. Okay, they're supposed to pay a lease, and then that money is supposed to go into the city and county's general fund. Back to the community. That's right, to better your lives, to make our schools better, okay, to make our streets better. Okay, it's not supposed to go into Fisher's pocket. Okay, you're not supposed to build condos on our land, and then to make it even worse, we can't even afford your goddamn condos. Hey, and then on top of all of this shit that we got to deal with these billionaires coming in buying up our land, then we got to deal with systemic racism. We got to deal with racial graffiti when we go to work. We got to deal with police terror. We got to deal with police chasing us down and beating us up in the street. How much longer do you think this is going to continue? It's not going to continue long, because now the labor movement is joining up with the community. We making that connection. All of you politicians, especially the council members that run this district here, your ass ain't gonna be there next year.
No.
You're not gonna be there after the next election.
They're gone.
If you want to get elected in this city, you better join the Labor Party. You better join the Million Worker Party, or your ass is coming out of office. Okay. Now I'm the president of the ILWU Local 10. I'm gonna tell you right now, if I got into office and I did everything against our membership, my membership would vote my ass out of office. That's the same thing we need to do to these politicians in the city of Oakland and the county of Alameda. We need to vote their ass out of office. You represent us. You don't represent Fisher.
That's right, Trent.
Okay? He's a billionaire. He might be able to pay you off, but we'll make sure you ain't getting that city and county salary no more. Yeah. Your ass is coming out of office. So once again, I want to thank all you brothers and sisters that came out here with us to help us protest today against the A's building a stadium at Howard Terminal. And we got a few speakers we want to recognize here at the Oakland Coliseum site. So I'm going to hand this mic over to Brother Keith Shanklin after we sanitize the mic.
Sanitize the politician.
Yeah, there you go.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Trent. And thank you, community. Without your support, none of this would be happening. None of it.
The caravan was beautiful.
The caravan was fantastic. I tell you.
Well organized.
Definitely. Power to the people. The people have spoke, and you politicians, your asses is out. Now, we're having a little technical difficulty, but I'm quite sure that we got the ace on the job, and pretty soon we'll be hearing from some women speakers. Not some old, stodgy old men speaking, telling you the same old crack the whip stories. No, no. We're going to get some women, give you their perspective on what's going on in our community and what's going on in the United States, and furthermore, what's going on in the labor movement. The labor movement. This is what this is about. This is about the labor movement. This is about what's going on in the United States. Right now, capitalists is taking every inch they can get to push us out. Every inch. You look downtown Oakland. You look over here, right here at the A Stadium. Look at that. He has a perfectly built stadium with a locker room, with parking, with vendors, with a coliseum, with BART trains, you name it. It's right here, right in front of him. And he can't see that? Come on. What's really real? Why do you need to move from a perfectly built stadium and effectively shut down the economy of East Oakland by removing this stadium here? Do you know how many vendors bring their tools here? Coca-Cola, hot dogs, mustard, mayonnaise, ketchup. All those vendors make money coming here to this Coliseum. And guess where they put the money back? Into the community. If they ain't making no money, guess what? We ain't making no money. Leave that Coliseum alone. Bring your baseball players who've been playing there since 1968 and let them have their way right here in East Oakland where they belong. Now we're waiting for our technician to get the sound system together. He needs a couple of minutes. So while I have a couple of minutes, let me give you a story that I was trying to tell at just Oscar Grand Plaza before I was interrupted. Back in 2008, there was a tragedy that took place in our family. One of our adopted nephews was killed by the Oakland police. And he was killed because he said it was mistaken identity. He had just got a brand new job, making good money, getting ready to take care of his family. He decided he wanted to go with his friends to the store to buy a bag of chips and a soda. He wasn't going to go to buy a 40 and get a blunt. No, he was going there to get him a bag of chips and some soda. As he was coming out of the store, a cop said, "I recognize you." And he said, "No, you don't." He said, "Yes, I do." He said, "You look familiar." "Well, I'm not the one." So as he proceeded to walk out the store, this rogue police by the name of Patrick Gonzalez grabbed him by his arm and yanked him back and said, "You ain't going nowhere." Well, the struggle began, and the police officer found himself at a disadvantage because my nephew was a little bit stronger and he was able to get out of his hole. So at that time, Patrick Gonzalez decided to draw out his taser and tase my nephew. Tase him until there was no more juice in that gun. I mean, literally just over and over and over. This was before they had the one shot. These things just kept recharging until there was no battery left. As my nephew sit there struggling for his life, he managed to get away again. The rogue police officer, Patrick Gonzalez, one of Oakland's finest, decided that, you know what? You're not going anywhere. He withdrew his service revolver and put 2 shots in his back, virtually killing him. As he laid there on the ground, dying, he too will say the same thing like George Floyd. Are we ready? Are we ready?
Adrian is on the phone and ready to speak.
Okay, I will continue the story later. All right, on the microphone via Zoom from Oakland, one of Amazon's favorite women, who's on Amazon's hit list, is Adrian Williams from Zoom.
everybody. I want to talk today about choices. The lower income we are, the fewer choices we have. But the one choice we do representatives. For far too long, they have gotten away with feeding us empty promises and disappointment. All the time trying to convince us that our voices, our votes, don't actually matter. So my question today is, what is the point of them? Our government representatives. What are we paying taxes for? If they're going to continue to privatize education and prisons and the healthcare, then what do our taxes pay for? Our teachers are overburdened. Our EMTs don't have health insurance. Our nurses still don't get proper PPE. What is the point of them? Our government. I don't have a long speech today, just a single thought. We are so much more powerful than the wealthy and political classes give us credit for. We need to vote in every election, every time, for people who look and sound and care about us. Vote for school board on up to president. Because in this moment, our government doesn't represent the people. And if they don't represent the people, then what is the point of them? Thank you.
Cheryl Thornton. Cheryl Thornton.
Is she on?
Yeah, she's on the line. Yeah.
She ready?
She ready?
This new style of protesting is
Okay, we have Cheryl Thornton. Is she on my list?
Yep.
Where's she from?
Oh, really? Oh, she is from SEIU 1021, the Healthcare Workers.
Black Workers United.
And Black Workers United. Okay. Mrs. Cheryl Thornton.
Hi, my name is Cheryl Thornton, and I work in San Francisco for the Department of Public Health, SEIU. I'm a SEIU 10-to-1 member. And I work in healthcare. Recently, I started a group called Black Workers Unite, and the reason we started that is because previously, many of us had organized and gone to the mayor, to the board of supervisors. We had been protesting about all the systemic racism that exists in the city and county of San Francisco. And in 2018, we had a hearing about the systemic racism. And unfortunately, we had not very much has been done. And so today, what's going on in San Francisco, many Black workers are being fired from the city and county of San Francisco. They're disciplined more harshly than anybody else. We make the lowest wages of all ethnicities in the city and county of San Francisco as medium income. And we don't have the protection. We're not allowed, under this pandemic, we don't have the protection of PPE. We're not allowed to go on telecommuting to protect our health or our family's health. And so, yeah, we're still organizing and trying to bring a light to this systemic racism that is happening in San Francisco. Many people think it's happening in other cities, and it doesn't happen in San Francisco, but it is happening in San Francisco in a very big way. And so that's why we started Black Workers Unite.
Thank you, sister. You done? Thank you, Cheryl Thornton from SEIU 1021, the healthcare workers. Now, this is not about me.
I'm different from Shank. I'll hog it. No. But brothers and sisters, I wanted to, first of all, for all of the ILWU Local 10 members who just showed up here at the Coliseum, welcome. We love you. And up here on the stage with me, I got some representatives from the AALC, the African American Longshore Coalition, the Local 10, which I'm very proud that our union has an organization like that within the union. These brothers and sisters up here did a lot of work to help put the Juneteenth event together as well as this event. They are also members of the, thank you, they're also members of the Stop Police Terror and End Systemic Racism Committee. Now that committee has a website, that I want all of you to, if you got a pen or whatever, write this down. Okay, it's to stop police terror and end systemic racism.com. Okay, because this committee that we have put together here is going to continue to stay together and continue to fight for workers' rights and the community's rights from now on. So we are still accepting members to come and join that committee. Okay. Also, I see my brother back there. Did you want to come up? Yanero? But that's another one of my brothers from Local 10 who's helped put this together. I want to recognize him. I want to recognize Brother Gerald there, who's always been steadfast and right alongside of the ILWU, whatever we put together. Then without further ado, I want to introduce my two brothers and sister, members of the AALC, Brother Mark Kennedy, Sister Lori Weisner, and Brother Andre Black Jesus Dawkins.
Okay, most of y'all know me who's members of the local. My name is Mark Kennedy, committeeman of Local 10, member of the executive board for the AALC, the African American Longshore Coalition. I appreciate each and every one of you coming out and participating in what we hope will grow into a very large movement for each and every one of us in our communities to have our own power, to have those in power not asked to listen to us but forced to, because we're not going to accept just what they want to hand us. We don't want to accept what they want to take from us. So each and every one of us, tell all your people it's time to get back out here and fight as the collective, because they're killing us, y'all. They're trying to divide us. They're trying to kill us. They're trying to justify it. And this isn't something that we have to accept, nor should we. So all I have to say is I want to thank you getting out here, showing your efforts. And I hope this thing grows, because what we really need, as Trent has already said, is a Labor Party that represents us. And that's not going to happen without us coming together and letting it be known that we going to stand together and we going to force you to listen to us. We the one that makes you this money. This money starts as little money and turns into big money in your pocket. You don't come get it. You don't take a risk and come risk your life for this paper that you want to spend against us now. So let's let these people know that we're not here to ask for nothing. We're here to take power to the people, back to the streets, back to communities and the families that really deserve it. And I want to thank each and every one of y'all for coming once again.
Hi everybody, thank you for coming. I'm Lori, one of the members of the AALC and also a member of ILWU Local 10. Thank you. I'm also an Oakland resident, and I've lived here all my life, and I'm really, really upset about us losing this property, losing the Coliseum, and we need to fight. We need to fight with the city council. We need to go down, make a stance with Libby Schaaf, because this is ours. We need this. Oakland needs this. We need this more than anything right now, because our kids don't have places to work. They don't get these summer jobs like Oakland has had all my life. You could come here in the summer and get a job. These jobs have been snatched away by corporations that just want to build condominiums. We need more than that. We deserve more than that. All of the Oakland residents, we got to come together, fight, get with this labor movement, and let's make a stand. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Andre Dawkins, aka Black Jesus. I'm the treasurer of the African American Longshore Coalition of Local 10, also the Sergeant at Arms and the rank and file member of Local 10. This day, Bloody Thursday, July 5th, 2020. July 5th, 1934. We've been marching since June 10th about police brutality. It started with ILWU. 6 longshoremen up and down the West Coast was murdered, shot by police officers from the back. We've been fighting about systemic racism. It started with ILWU. 1934, Harry Bridges, along with a few African-American longshoremen, he listened to, not only in Oakland and San Francisco, the police officers was against workers, but white longshore was also against workers. Tens of thousands of African Americans came from the Midwest, the South, and the East Coast in 1934 by the employers as scabs. But Harry listened to the black longshore who was there and went to their community and promised them, if you don't cross these lines, then I guarantee you will be longshore, in spite of my white counterparts. But we also came because of privatization. The A's, they want to take public land and put it in the hand of one man. But privatization started a long time ago. In Juneteenth, we learned that Texas slaves learned that they were free in 1865. 100 years after that, I was born in 1965 in Peoria, Illinois. But in 1869, in Louisiana, a private owner of a plantation talked to the government and offered his land, his plantation, as a way to privatize and keep his plantation. And the largest prison then and the largest prison today is Angola. Yep. Named after an African country.
Yes.
They, in the 13th Amendment, if most of you don't understand, it says there's no slavery or involuntary servitude except in imprisonment. But one man took that idea and used the Constitution, the laws of this land, and then privatized his own land and made a prison, African prison, called Angola. They started changing the lands, the laws, enslaving people once again. The same thing that existed in Chinese slavery exists today. The Oakland Stadium is on that same mission, to take public lands and privatize it. Then come and invade the docks, maritime, build a play, what somebody said, a playground for the rich. But today, just like on Juneteenth, the community came out to support us to end systemic racism and police terrorists. Today, the community came out, we shut down the freeway. This is a message across this land that we're here to stop systemic racism, police terrorists. But as Trent said, we need to think about a party of our own. A party that represents you and not the rich. Okay.
No more speakers. Yeah. All right. We're going to have a party here. The party is about to get started because the work has to begin. It begins with us, it begins with you. Go back to your websites, go back to your emails, go back to your Facebook pages. Let them know what we did out here today. Let them know it was significant. Let them know that we're moving in the directions of recognizing us, the people, the community, not politicians. Not the ones who run around here kissing on babies and passing out chickens. No, we represent us, the people. We are going to take this back one by one. Like Mr. Andy Garcia stood right here on this podium and told you, by any means necessary. So this concludes our program as far as speakers. Thank you, thank you, thank you for the support and the help. And please pay attention to your Facebooks, your websites, and your emails. You will be receiving all that from us.